part, we will discuss about the step response, that is the mathematical formulation of the step response of a second order system. Now, we know the second order system transfer function, so we can write directly Cs by Rs, that is your omega n square by s square plus 2 xi omega n s plus omega n square, right? So whenever step response you have to calculate, you have to find out the value of Rs is equal to step signal, that is 1 by s. So you get Cs is equal to 1 by s into omega n square by s square plus 2 xi omega ns plus omega n square. Now see, in the denominator there are two factors, one is s and another is s square plus 2 xi omega ns plus omega n square. That means this is a second order factor, right? So in order to get the seat E, what you have to do, you have to get the partial fraction expansion of it. That means partial fraction expansion. So partial fraction expansion, the standard rule of the partial fraction expansion is that if a first order factor is there, so you can write it Cs. That means Cs means this part. So in order to have the partial fraction expansion of it, that means you have to just write this function in a summation form, right? So you can write s into this is omega n square s square plus 2 xi omega n s plus omega n square. So that can be written like a by s plus, due to this second order part you have to write bs plus c. There will be two residues, b and c, and new denominator this will be 2 xi omega ns plus omega n square, right? So how can you get the value of residues like a, b and c? In just to get the value of a, b and c, you have to just multiply this term and nothing else, and we have to equate the coefficient of s square, coefficient of s and coefficient of s to the power 0. How can you get it? This can be write like a into s square plus 2 xi omega ns plus omega n square plus bs plus c into s whole divided by s into s square plus 2 xi omega ns plus omega n square. That is the term in the right hand side, right? On the left hand side we are having same term omega n square by s into s square plus 2 xi omega n s plus omega n square. So see, from this equation denominator are same, so you can cancel out the denominator part, and finally we get at the left hand side omega n square, only omega n square, that is the numerical part is only there, and in the right hand side you just multiply this term straightforward way, you get s square plus 2 xi omega n a into s plus a into omega n square plus this is your b s square plus c into s. So this is your now equation becomes like this, and here you see on the right hand side, if you take the coefficient of s square, coefficient of s and coefficient of s to the power 0, what you are getting, so you see here, you see omega n square can be written like a plus b into, here this is a into s square plus b into s square, and this is the coefficient of s and this is also coefficient of s. So we get omega n square equal to a plus b s square plus of 2 xi omega n plus c into s, such that 2 xi omega n s into plus c into s plus, that is a omega n square, right? So if you equate, now equating the coefficients of s to the power s and s to the power 0 from both sides, what will get? A plus b equal to 0, because coefficient of s square in the left hand side is 0. So you get a plus b equal to 0. That means a is equal to minus b. One part is there, and see, this is part which is having no s. So a into omega n square equal to omega n square, and you get a equal to 1. So a equal to 1, and as a is equal to minus b, so b is equal to minus 1, right? And the next part is 2 xi omega n plus c equal to 0 again, because this is the coefficient of s in the right hand side. In the left hand side there is no s part, so this is equal to 0, and c equal to minus 2 xi omega n. So these are the three values of residues a, b and c. Now you can put this cs, that is here you see this is your cs, so cs is equal to this. So cs can be written like a means 1 by s plus minus b means minus s plus c means minus s minus 2 xi omega n divided by s square plus 2 xi omega n s plus omega n square, right? So once you get the residues, then this cs can be written in partial fraction expansion form. That is cs left hand side equal to a is equal to 1, so you can write a by s minus of b means 1, that means s plus 2 xi omega n, that is the value of c, by s square plus 2 xi omega ns plus omega n square, right? So this is the value of cs, and see this part, and we have to get the value of c of t. That means you have to just get the Laplace inverse on the right hand side. So this part is having no problem. We can write cs like 1 by s minus, just what we are trying to do it, you just see here we are getting s plus xi omega n plus xi omega n. That means this 2 xi omega n is written like xi omega n plus xi omega n. And here you see, if I write s plus xi omega n square, so what it actually we will get from here, you see this part s plus xi omega n square, if you just expand it, you get s square plus xi square omega n square plus 2 xi omega n s. Now what are the common factor in the denominator? If you write like this, so s square exists, 2 xi omega n s, that is exist, and this is your omega n square. Now what else you have to add or subtract, right? So you can write here omega n square, then what is the extra term? This is your extra term, so you have to write xi square omega n square. Then if you have like this, so this term is equal to this plus omega n square minus xi square omega n square. So you get this term, right? So that is the way how can you just divide this. And next line I can write is like 1 by s minus, say, s plus xi omega n. This is our form. We can write s plus xi omega n by this whole term. What is that? That is s plus xi omega n square plus, we can write omega n square 1 minus xi square, as we are dealing with the underdamped system. So xi is considered to be less than 1, so we can write it like this, right? And what else? Plus xi omega n. So this will be your minus of xi omega n by s plus xi omega n square plus omega n square 1 minus xi square. Okay. Now is there any similarity of the standard form of Laplace transform? You see, I can write it like if you see this term, only this term, what is this? Standard form is this: s plus a by s plus a square plus b square. This is the Laplace transform of a certain time domain function, right? S plus a by s plus a whole square plus b square. See this term. If this can be written as s plus a, so this is s plus a whole square plus b square. So this should be expressed in terms of b square, right? So that is one part. So this part can be written like, say, in that form: s plus xi omega n by s plus xi omega n square plus, we can write omega root over 1 minus xi square whole square. So this term can be your b and this term can be your a according to this rule, right? If that is the case, then the second part, what about this second part? This part we have to again express in terms of some standard form, right? So what is your standard form? Another standard form is there. See, b by s plus a whole square plus b square. This is another standard form. So if the standard form is like this, so in the numerator there is no b, because this is your b, right? This is your b. If the b is like, so in this case you can write b is omega n root over 1 minus xi square. So numerator part should be this, numerator should be omega n into root over 1 minus xi square. So what else you have to do such that this kind of function can be obtained, right? For this part I am writing like this: see, minus xi into omega n. What you are having? You are having omega n. So xi is not there, and root over of 1 minus xi square should be put here. So you can write omega n root over 1 minus xi square in the numerator, and similarly there is a xi. So you can write like this. So what you are getting? Xi into omega n, this will be cancelled out. So in the numerator you will be having xi into omega n. So this can be written like this, and rest of the thing is similar. That means s plus xi omega n square plus omega n root over 1 minus xi square whole square, right? So actually you see, now this is your b, this is your b, and this is your a. Okay, so you get the two standards form. Now this is your CS. So if you want to get the inverse transform of it, you can directly relate with the standard form. So and the next part is to get the Laplace inverse of CS. By S. So 1 by S, Laplace inverse of 1 by S will give you 1 minus, see, this is s plus a by s plus a whole square plus b square. So you know the standard form of it, s plus a by s plus a whole square plus b square. If you get the inverse of it, you get e to the power minus at cos of bt, right? Similarly, the standard form is that e to the power minus at sin bt, right? So you get the two terms, e to the power minus at cos bt and e to the power minus at sin of bt. So once you get these terms like this, what actually we are getting from this term, this is your a. So e to the power minus xi omega n t cos of bt, this omega n root over 1 minus xi square t. This is the inverse Laplace transform of this part. And next part is this is your constant minus xi by root over 1 minus xi square, and this is your b by s plus a whole square plus b square. So what you will get? E to the power minus at sin bt. So this will be your e to the power minus xi omega n t sin omega n root over 1 minus xi square t, right? And this is your one form of CT. Now we have to just solve it in such a way so that a standard form of the second order response curve can be obtained, right? You can write Ct equal to 1 minus, if you just take the common form like e to the power minus xi omega n t by root over 1 minus xi square. So what we are getting here, this part e to the power minus xi omega n t by root over 1 minus xi square is common. So this will be your xi sin omega n root over 1 minus xi square t plus of, this is minus, so minus plus minus plus e to the power minus xi omega n t is there. So this should be multiplied such that this into this gives you e to the power minus xi omega n t into cos of omega n root over 1 minus xi square t, right? So see this term. Now this is sin A, this can be taken as cos B. See, we already know from the previous discussion cos theta is equal to your xi. Okay, so xi are equal to cos theta. If the xi is equal to cos theta, then sin theta will be equal to root over 1 minus xi square definitely, and get the similarity like this. So you can take it as the cos theta, so this will be automatically sin theta. We can write it like e to the power minus xi omega n t by root over 1 minus xi square. This is your sin omega n root over 1 minus xi square into t cos theta plus cos 1 minus xi square into t sin theta. So sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. What will give? This will be your e to the power minus xi omega n t by root over 1 minus xi square sin of A plus B root over 1 minus xi square plus theta, right? So you get Ct, this is equal to your 1 minus root of 1 minus e to the power minus xi omega n t by root over 1 minus xi square sin omega n root over 1 minus xi square t plus theta. So this is the expression for the step response for a second order system. Now how this response mathematical equation can give you certain kind of curve and output response curve. Now I am going to discuss it detail. So get the Ct, that is the output of a second order system when step input is applied, is like this. Here you see this is your sine function. So this is your sine phi, say, and the value of sine phi maximum plus 1 and minimum minus 1. So max min plus 1 minus 1. So actually this part will be plus 1 or minus 1, and according to that, if you get the sign out of here, what will get this part? So this part will be plus 1 one time and minus 1 in the another time. So you get the envelope like structure, like, so you get 1 plus minus e to the power of minus xi omega n t by root over 1 minus xi square, and that is a function of xi and omega n also, right? For a particular value of phi, say for example maximum value of phi, you get sin phi is equal to plus 1, and minimum value this will be minus 1. So ultimately the nature of this is equal to sinusoidal, but this will follow certain kind of envelope. So how this curve will be looking like? So this is your amplitude part, this is your time part, and you see this is your step signal, this is your input. Now output is Ct. Output is Ct means, actually you see, so depending upon the value of xi under the system we are considering, so in all case xi is less than 1, no problem, and 1 plus of e to the power minus this term. E to the power minus this term we added with 1. That means 1 plus of this. This part is your, the envelope is like this. This is the envelope for 1 plus e to the power minus j omega nt by root over 1 minus j square. Similarly, you get the envelope like this. This is the envelope already we have discussed as in case of first order system. This is 1 minus e to the power minus j omega nt divided by 1 minus j square. So these are the two envelopes. Within this, a sinusoid signal is moving. So how the sinusoidal signal will be looking like? Now that is your output signal, and you see the output signal follow this envelope. And ultimately it goes to this. As you know, the second order system response is like this. Actually, this is a second order system where you see the oscillatory part is dying out, and finally it goes to similar to that of the input values, and you see what happens. This is actually decaying amplitude of the sine wave. So you see in case of sine wave what happens, the function, if you note the function is written like sine omega n root over 1 minus j square t. So we are just neglecting to say, for example, theta, very small, or whatever. We are just considering this plus theta is similar to that. That is, this is a sine wave. Now see this part. What is this? If the xi was absent, that means if the value of xi is equal to 0, that means undamped oscillation. That means there is no damping. So we get sine of omega nt. So the nature of the output signal would have been like this. Once the damping is applied, what happens? This omega n multiplied by some another term, root over 1 minus j square. This term is coming into picture, so you are getting the decaying amplitude. So, and this omega n into root over 1 minus j square, then known as damped omega d. This is damped natural frequency. That means this is not the natural frequency, but a damping is attached with it. And once you get the responses like this, so now you can find out the steady state response characteristics, transient response characteristics, or the or normally that is known as the time domain parameters. That means the defined values of time domain parameter. Already we have discussed TR, TP, number 2 you can get TS, percentage peak overshoot, and ESS. These are the 5 factors we have to find out from this nature of the graph, right? So this is how the second order system responds to a step signal, and once you get the step response of a second order system, you can get these time domain parameters. And without detailed discussion of the time domain parameter calculation, just I will write how to get the value of the time domain parameters, that means TR, TP, TS, percentage M2.